Hello. I want to take a minute to go over some user interface changes that we've made in version 4.36, which is our September 2021 release. There are basically three areas I want to talk about. One is in batch entry, and really when we change the user interface, it's largely because users like yourself have brought up some usability items that we could make your life a bit easier. So here are a couple of those examples. One of them is in batch entry, and specifically on the procedure line. Depending on where you clicked on this line, you'd get different behavior. And largely, it would open up a component ID. So oftentimes, if I were scrolling along and I inadvertently double-clicked on something, it would open up the component entry screen. So we've really defined this row a little bit tighter. So it depends on where you click. It will be depending on the action that you get. So for example, if I click and I'm on the component ID column field, it will actually bring up component entry and bring up that component ID. We also added that drill back to the description field as well, so that both of those act identically to each other, the ID and the description. But note that if I click on the instructions, nothing happens. So previously, if I double-clicked on the instructions inadvertently, maybe to get into the box, etc., all of a sudden the component entry screen would come up. So we basically identified the component ID and the description fields. We also did the same thing for unit of measure. So if you double-click on the unit of measure, it actually brings you up to the system unit of measure section. It is the equivalent of opening Vicinity system, and it opens this up as kind of default settings for units of measure. And then finally, given that the batch is released, in this case it's a released batch, if I double click on the issue now, it brings up the lot bin selection screen. It's the effect of being on this and pressing this button, this lot bin. We thought it was easier if you were going to be right here on the issue now. If you just double click directly from here, we felt it would be easier and keeping you from having to move the mouse up and be able to select that lot bin without having to do quite as much mouse work. Or keyboard work for that matter. So those three changes were made in component entry, adding the hyperlink for component ID and description, or maybe I should really say the component entry screen has really been isolated to those two fields, added a unit of measure drillback as well as the issue now drillback. Another item I wanted to talk about is over in Vicinity View, and specifically I've got a number of different views or a number of different queries that are under these parent items. And in the past, what I've needed to do is to say production control, ops close, say batch yield as an example, to get all the way down to that. We've added a right click, so if you hover over the left-hand area and right click, you can actually get and expand the outline, and it'll open everything up for you all the way down to however many levels there are. The opposite works as well. No matter where you are clicked on the tree, you can right click, and then you can say collapse the outline, and it brings you back to this space. So just a nice little touch, hoping to kind of speed you along the way a little bit. The final one that I want to talk about are these videos. One of the criticisms that we've gotten or suggestions for improvement has been to better define where you need to go to click on this, because inadvertently you'd open up a video and then not mean it. So if you clicked anywhere in this area previously, it would have opened the video. Instead, you have to navigate directly to the video name and click on it, and that'll be a hyperlink opening up that video and sharing a video similar to this one. Anyway, we hope you're enjoying those user interface changes. Let us know if there's anything we can make, how we can make this product better, and we'll certainly evaluate it and see what we can do to get it added into the application. Thanks a lot and have a great day.